Hello everyone, Semi-Retired Bob here. I got that big tree limb out of my front yard. I'm going to show you the cut up pieces of it. It's all here, this new section of my brush pile. Here, the old brush pile was from here, so this is all that one big limb that came down out in my yard almost a month after the storm. Today we're going to talk about what is the carnivore diet. Just that simple. I am Semi-Retired Bob. I talk about the carnivore diet, all things related to the carnivore diet, and miscellaneous odds and ends. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for stopping by. If you're returning to the channel, welcome back. It means a lot to me that you spend just a few moments of your day with me. I'm going to save that big hill for just another little bit here. I'm going to take a little extra run down the side here. But what you're watching is you're watching me walk. I know that doesn't seem exciting, but a little over 2 years ago I couldn't do this. I could barely stand for a couple of minutes without severe pain. Now I'm out here walking every day. So I'd like to ask y'all to help me out. Go ahead and drop down in the comments and say, "Hi, Bob." Hit that thumbs up button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. All of these things that are absolutely free help me get the word out that it's never too late to change your life. I'm 61 years old. I'm doing things I couldn't do when I was 40. Like out here walking every day. I could have never chopped up that tree limb 2 years ago. It would have just had to lay there killing the grass till somebody got out to take care of it. But what is the carnivore diet? Let's talk about that just a little bit, because there's a lot of confusion out there. I don't know why, but there is. Before I get on into that, I'm back up to the stop sign at the bottom of the hill, and now I'm going to do my fast walk to prepare for sprints by going up this hill as fast as I can. Well, I could probably go a little bit faster, but as we've talked about before, you only want to do a little bit more each day. There's a guy up there mowing, so I'm going to go ahead and diagonally cross the street just so it's not quite as loud, and it'll make the hike up this hill a little bit further. But carnivore diet is any animal product. I know I talk a lot about beef and eggs because that's pretty much all I eat is beef and eggs. But you don't have to eat just beef and eggs. Depending on where you live, fish, chicken, or any other kind of poultry, pork, and of course there's all the other ruminants, depending on where you live, camel, elk, deer, the list goes on and on and on. So you don't necessarily have to eat just beef and eggs. Sorry, I kind of slowed down there a little bit. I need to get back across the street because there's a big pile of brush up there. This is quite the hill. Is it Colorado Hill? No. But for Nebraska, it's a pretty good sized hill. Yeah, I know I talk a lot about beef. And if we listen to Professor K, hang on just a second. I gotta breathe here. That extra 30 or 40 steps made a pretty big difference on this hill. But now I'm up to that stop sign. Oh. Okay. There's the stop sign. I'm not going to make you watch me walk all the way back down to the house. I'm going to throw in some clips of me playing pickup sticks again and cutting the smaller chunks off of that tree limb with my sawzall. When I was gonna record using the chainsaw too, but I didn't notice I'd knocked over my phone on its little stand while I was getting the cords out for the chainsaw. So we didn't get any of that footage. But I'll throw all that in here. But yeah, if we listen to Professor K, then the muscle meat of large ruminant animals with its associated fat should be a large percentage of our diet. And I agree with that because of the fat content and the profile of ruminant meat. But that's not to say that's all we should have. You know, if you do okay with pork and you like pork, have pork. Some of the cuts of pork you might have to add some butter or other fat to it to up the fat content, depending on what cut you're on. Chicken, same thing. Chicken is perfectly fine. People have been living on chickens for centuries. For our way of eating, we probably want to add some fat to it because we're not, well, some of you might be, but most of us are not cutting up our own chickens. So we're left at the mercy of whatever little bit of fat they leave on it at the grocery store. So most grocery store bought chicken is you're gonna have to add a little more fat to that. But yeah, it really isn't that complicated. I know Rick down in Florida, Charger Mopar, I know he eats yogurt, and good full fat yogurt is perfectly fine. Again, now dairy is one of those things that some of us tolerate, some of us don't. I recommend doing the experiment with no dairy, no yogurt, no cheese, none of that stuff for about 90 days just to see how we feel. But you can tell by looking at Rick if you are metabolically healthy and can tolerate yogurt. There's no reason not to have it, because if you look at Rick, it's obvious he's in pretty good shape. So there's no reason not to have it. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this, me playing pickup sticks. I don't know if there's enough footage that we're going to have a little music section here or not. But yeah, any animal product. Pork, bacon, you know, we all like bacon. And I don't think there's anything wrong with bacon, even if you end up eating a lot of bacon. I see no problem with that. If you're actually seeing this rather than footage, I stopped to play some pickup sticks as I got to the edge of my yard because there was a little really big branch that had busted down there. Throw that on the brush pile. But don't get so uptight about, you know, just beef. Beef is good. I think we should have large ruminant animals as a big chunk of our diet, but we don't have to have beef every day. Me personally, I feel best on beef. I do occasionally throw some pork and some chicken in because even the cheapest ground beef I can get is about $3 a pound. And if I buy chicken thighs or chicken legs in a big pack, I get those for about $1.50 a pound. And the big pork roasts I get for about $1.90 a pound. It makes perfect economical sense that if you can get away with having pork and chicken in your diet, by all means do so. It'll make it a little bit cheaper. But this is the last day of me walking without my glasses. I think it has helped, so I think I'm going to continue my walking without the glasses on. But tomorrow is September the 1st. Marks the 2-year anniversary of the very first time I went out for a walk. So I'm expecting not a big video, but we'll probably talk about that tomorrow. Don't forget it's Saturday, time for weekly wins. Drop down in the comments. Let me know what your weekly win was. My weekly win, of course, was getting that big branch chopped up and out of my yard after already having the yard cleaned up once. I'm not going to get to mow it today. I'll probably get to that on Monday because it's almost time for Buckeye football and football in general. But drop down in the comments. Let me know what your weekly win is. That's what I've got for you today, folks. Don't forget, get out there, be 1% better. Today, tomorrow, every day. Have a great day, folks. I'll see you in the next one.